All right, everybody, welcome to the Doghouse here. We have a very special episode that we're going to do for you tonight. We are simulcasting here on the Comic Book Shopping Network, the Doghouse episode 133, as well as over on my feed and as well as YouTube. We are not going to be doing a live sale tonight. We are going to instead be doing a little creator roundup, as well as an announcement for what you can see on the screen right now. Dynamite Comics, Bad Kitty, and look at the creator names under there. Like, what is going on? There's 3 people there that all work for Big Dog Inc., and yet they are all heading over to Dynamite Comics, and that is what we're going to be talking about tonight. If I can get this thing off, we'll get this started. Hello, there we go. Technology is wonderful. What's going on, everybody? Doghouse a little bit different this evening. No live sales. We're gonna have a little creator chat, as I just mentioned. As you can see behind me, Bad Kitty is happening at long last. We've been talking about this for quite a while. You've seen some of this stuff that I've been teasing. We're going to show it to you all again. We're going to show you some stuff you haven't seen yet, and equally as important, we're going to bring on my cohort in this project here. We have artist extraordinaire CB Zane.
Oh, wow, extraordinaire. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've moved up in the world. Yeah,
no, right? It's weird that I give you like a complimentary tag, right?
I guess it's about time, because gosh, how long have I been carrying you?
I know, right? It's been almost since the beginning. Like, it's been 12 years, or it's been, oh my God, it's been 12 years.
Yeah.
And you have been part of Big Dog Inc. since, I believe, year 2.
I think it was the end of year 1. It
was
right the first year. Yeah.
I think you came on, but the actual book came out like the following year.
Yeah.
But we certainly were aware of you, and you were in the pipeline for us. So almost essentially from the beginning. Yeah. But that's not all, everybody. We also have with us tonight to help keep this thing rolling. We have Big Dog Inc. super fan, Shawnee M.
Yeah. I get to tag along with the greats.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Shawnee's been helping me co-host these little things, and help keep things moving. As sometimes we struggle to figure out what exactly to say next.
I do my best.
Yes. Everybody here tonight, across the 3 channels that we are broadcasting on. Of course, we're going to chit chat about this book and other things. But you are welcome to join the conversation. Let us know what you think about the art, about the book. We'll give you some details as best we can tonight. We will start with the basic idea here. Dynamite Comics, of course, owns Bad Kitty. This is a comic book that came out from Chaos Comics back in 2001. I approached Dynamite and Nick last year about, hey, what are you doing with Bad Kitty? They were like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, oh, well, okay, let me figure that out and get back to you. And I then proceeded to come back, pitch them the idea of what I want to do with Bad Kitty in a very broad sense. And they were like, yeah, this makes sense. Let's make this happen. Bad Kitty is basically a supernatural sort of Punisher story-ish. You have Catherine Bell, who was a cop in Louisiana. She gets framed for murdering her partner by the local crime lord, drug lords, etc. She goes into hiding, but they find her. They end up killing her boyfriend, and she says, well, look, if you're coming after me, I'm going to come after you first. And that's essentially, in a nutshell, the origin story of Bad Kitty, as she decides to load up, dress up, and head back to Louisiana and take care of this little problem here. Of course, she picks up the cat Lucky along the way, who has his own backstory, ends up being a sort of a werewolf for a little while, on and on and on. Of course, Bad Kitty at some point also runs into sort of an elder god who decides,
like you do,
as you do in comic books, an elder god who judges her and decides that because she has done bad things, but she's done them in the name of good and justice and so on, that she is good herself. So Good Kitty? I don't know. Maybe there's a spinoff there somewhere. Mr. Mike, how are you? So that's sort of the very, very general backstory of Chaos Comics and Bad Kitty. She only had about a dozen issues. She moved over to Dynamite when Dynamite acquired the Chaos Library. She has been in a handful of stories over the years that Dynamite has had her, including one in 2014 where they kind of reimagined her with a sort of like dual personality type of thing, which when I talked to Dynamite, I was like, well, I kind of want to just go back to basics. I was a fan of the book back in the day. I enjoyed it. I kind of felt like I had a feel for what it was, and I wanted to kind of bring it back to that sort of flavor that it had back in the day. And they said, well, who do you want to do the book? And I had two people in mind immediately. One I kind of knew was not going to work because it was Carlos Reno and he was in the process of doing Oz, and I knew that we had sort of a time crunch and that probably wasn't going to work. So really, the person that I hoped they would say yes to is right there. Right there. CB Zane. I was like, so here's these two guys. I'm going to show you what CB does because I'm pretty sure y'all are going to like it. Showed him a bunch of stuff that he did for BDI, and it was an immediate, yeah, go. Tell him we want him. It wasn't even there was no back and forth. It was just, yep, he's in, he's done. What's up, Andrew? How's it going? And we were off to the races. It was time for me to actually do the job. Right at the time, if you all recall last year, when I essentially couldn't move my arms, which was really wonderful timing for like a month of my life. I couldn't do squats. So I was really okay, break. So it was really difficult. But we got it done.
I'm laughing at Andrew's comment. Sorry. Good
for
you,
Andrew. Top Gun. That's a fail. That's a fail. It's an official fail. That's a millennial move. It's a millennial move. So we got this. The interesting part was, and I want to talk to you about a little bit about this, Stevie, because you've actually worked for other companies. I'm not talking about just me, but like you've worked for companies that people have known, like Devil's Due and so on. This was my first time working for another company, working on their property, and what was interesting was I was given no guidelines. Like it wasn't like, okay, use this path. We want you to follow this path because she does exist within the chaos thing that Dynamite does. Right. Yeah, in whatever capacity that they want her to be, she is part of that. But they were like, just go. And so I did the script, finally got it all done, turned it in, and fully expected, like, okay, we don't want to do this. We got to fix that. We got to change this. And when the edits came back, it was basically like, yeah, put a comma here and fix your grammar here and whatever. I was like, yeah, but what about the story? Like, tell me what's wrong with the story. And they were like, no, you're good. You're good. Send it to CB. We're ready to go. It's like, okay, all right. Because I put a lot of stuff in there that was like, I'm just kind of tossing stuff in, things that I knew we could use later on. I wanted to kind of build it up with little, this and that and this and that. And then we can come back to it later.
A little shadowing, a little.
Right. Little foreshadowing of things. Exactly. And they were good with all of it. And so I was like, wow, I mean, that's the easiest editorial I may ever have in my lifetime.
Enjoy it while you can.
Which was fun, yeah, because next time they'll be like, no, we changed our mind. All of this has to go a different way. So this guys will be my first real dive into someone else's world that I was given free reign to use, or create, but it was still theirs, and it was still. It felt a little heavy, because you've got a book that has a history, has a fan base, has in my mind, a way of doing what it is supposed to do.
And with the lack of guidance, that had to be a little disconcerting.
Yeah. I mean, it was great because the doors were just open. Like, I'm just going to put it down and type. Yes. Okay. type. Yes. Okay, good.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting because with it having a history, I mean, that almost becomes your guideline.
Yes.
And so at least you had that to fall back on. It's not like, hey, I noticed this background character in book Z and I want to bring her to life. And they're like, yeah, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at least you have, I don't know, rules,
a foundation to work on.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. The rules, the context. Yes, for sure. And that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring it back to basics while throwing open the door for future options as far as the story goes, as far as design goes, as far as just everything goes, which I think we did it. I think that we did exactly that. We're going to show you guys some stuff here that CB and of course Chris Chua on the colors. Totally happy with this book, guys. I think you guys are going to love it. Everything just jumps right off the page. It's action, it's drama, it's everything that this book is supposed to be, and that you guys, I would assume, expect it to be. And I think that's the real key, right? Is the fan expectation of, oh my God, Bad Kitty. We're in the age of the reboot and the retcon and the repackage and all this kind of stuff. And you have to sort of toe the line of, okay, how much nostalgia, how much new, how much change, alteration. Oh my God, because they're all going to come in with like a microscope and be like, yo.
And expectations. And
show me what you got.
Preconceived notions. And
yeah.
You have quite the challenge ahead of you.
Yeah. Well, listen, the challenge is over. I did it. Now I just have to pray that I did it right.
Pray to the God.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Where's the elder God that we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, judge me quickly. Make it quick and painless so we can move on.
Pay extra for the sharp blade.
Oh man, but yeah. So CB, I want you to talk about your career a little bit here because beyond Big Dog Inc. and some of the other companies you've worked for, you went all the way back to Devil's Due.
Yeah.
Back when they had G.I. Joe. I know you had talked about doing like Dreadnoks.
Yep.
One shot or series or something.
It's a 3-issue mini.
3-issue. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So talk about, where you came from and with all this stuff, because you've worked for a lot of people before you started, doing it for yourself.
Yeah. It just, for me, it started as a passion as a kid. Like all of us, we collected comics. I loved it, but I also liked to draw. And I mean, gosh, I remember loving to draw in kindergarten. And, when I found comics, I had a real good friend of mine growing up, and he was a big comic fan and an artist as well. And, our sleepovers were creating our own universe. And I think the first comic we ever drew together was an X-Men versus the Punisher book. every one of our books was 10 pages, because we were both, fans of X-Men at the time. And, we did a couple, I don't know, 3-4 issues of X-Men, of our X-Men. And then we started creating our own characters. We had super groups and individual characters. And I think we did I want to say it was a 10 or a 12 issue series of this super group we created, which was super cool to do that. But that passion stayed with me. And, as I got a little bit older, I kept drawing, I submitted, I back then you couldn't send anything digitally. You either had to go to a con, or the very first thing I submitted, I snail mailed it to Marvel and put care of whatever editor. I sent one to John Byrne, and I did get a written response from John Byrne, a handwritten response from John Byrne. And I've mentioned this on other shows. I wish I knew what happened to those letters from him, because it was classic John Byrne, those loopy letters he wrote. And he critiqued this. It was a Spider-Man versus the Joker story I had done when I was 13, maybe. I don't know. It was really encouraging, but it was a real critique. He actually looked at it. And so in college, I kind of picked up the pen again and pencil and started doing stuff and making my way to cons and showing stuff up. And I got a hit from, Devil's Due was one of the first ones. Before that was, oh boy. Gosh, I'm blanking now. I did a couple of short stories and then a full issue for this other company. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to mention them because they stiffed me pay on the full book I did.
I know who that is.
Yeah, so it was about $1,000 that they were supposed to pay me that I never got paid. So I'm not going to mention them.
Yeah.
But Devil's Due was
they shall remain nameless.
Yeah. Devil's Due was the first one that had a substance, a name to it. And I got that, and then things kind of slowed down, and I went on digital webbing, and I saw, a wanted ad that digital webbing used to have for a book, and I applied, and this guy sent me a test page, and it was sent it back. He's like, "All right, you want to do this?" I was like, "Sure." And it ended up being Tom Hutchison, and the book was Cricket, Agent of Unicorn. So that was my introduction to BDI, and there's a couple things here and there, and I became my own creator eventually down the road, and here we are today. Now I have 4 of my own titles. I'm doing this Dynamite Bad Kitty book. I've done the goth books with you, and it's a cool world to be part of. It's fun, keeps me busy, and it never ever feels like a job. So that's the.
So you went from Devil's Due to Big Dog Inc.
Yeah.
Wow, big step up.
Yeah.
Dun dun.
I can say that because Josh Blaylock isn't on Facebook anymore.
Yeah, I still run into Josh at cons every once in a while. He's a good guy.
He's a regular out here at C2E2. A lot of the stuff here in the Midwest. I tell people that I am a graduate of the Josh Blaylock How to Make Comics school, because he has a book for those that are interested in creating comics. He has a book that he's put out, and it's been in various forms of printing over the years, so you should be able to find it. It's called How to Self-Publish Comics, Not Just Create Them. And it was an absolutely invaluable tool as I was just learning how to do all this stuff. I mean, right down to the idea of, barcodes. It never even occurred to me to get a barcode for my books, but comic book retailers require it because they scan everything at the the register. So I was like, oh my god. So Josh has been a friend for a long time.
And he was a really good, I think of him more as like the first editor I really had.
Sure.
That other group was more like the creator owned, and he was just like, here's a story, do it. And even though it was contractual and stuff, but he was really good. And there was one of those, the one Dreadnought book was like 40 pages, and it was like yeah, they need this in like a month, and I'm like, gulp, like 40 page like this. And
That's
I
a
started
tad
doing,
daunting.
yeah, and I'm still working a full-time job at that point, and I'm like, wow, and I'm getting into it. I'm like, there's just no way. And we were talking. He said, if you can't do it, let me know. He goes, no shame in it. He goes, just be honest, because. And I was like, yeah, that's not happening. He said, can you get half, and I'll get someone else to do the other half. And I was like, yeah, I can definitely do that. So that's what happened, and he divvied up the story with another artist, and we had separate parts, so our characters never or our scenes never overlapped, so it created a nice continuity with it. But that was a valuable lesson for me as an artist, just to be honest. If I can hit a deadline, I can hit it, and if you can't, I think appreciating that candor, that honesty went a long way.
Is that something you appreciate, Tom, from on the other end? Being
It's a must. I just had an artist that I talked to
Mhm.
today, and I was like, "This?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "This time frame?" He was like, "Oh, yeah, I think so. Shouldn't be a problem." And I'm like, "Okay, just tell me, because
Yeah,
I'll move it, or there might be wiggle room, at the end of this deadline, but because in this case it's stuff for some stretch goal stuff, so there's a little, it's not like it's the comic or covers or whatever, so there's a little wiggle room, but I'm like, yeah, we got about a month to do this. And he was like, yeah, okay, we got it. So
yeah, and
but yeah, if the answer is no, I need to know it's no,
right.
Yeah.
because then it just shifts to somebody else, and we until we find the yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be hard for some people, though, because I think not so much shame, but they either want to do the work or everything else. But sometimes saying no or being realistic about your ability to be able to meet those deadlines has to be tough for some artists and just some people in general.
Sure. Well, they want the work, just
Absolutely,
in general, right? They just want the work. They want to not let down someone that they want to work for. But yeah, but the bottom
not
line
being honest
is
about what you can accomplish.
Yeah,
is
if you tell me you're going to do it and it can't get done, that's worse than saying I can't do it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's it, guys. Don't listen. If someone wants to hire you and they're ready to say, here's work, and you're like, well, I can't do it now, that's not going to preclude you from getting work later, because they already have said, oh, I like what this is, so let's find him work. If it means I got to wait a month or two to find something else, it will come back around, because the publisher, whoever, has already decided they like you.
But if you flake on a commitment,
but that's a problem. That's a problem.
And going along with that, the way I kind of got into comics, as an artist first, a writer later, a creator somewhere in between that, having talked and had conversations back and forth with Tom as an editor, as a creator, someone with a vision, knowing about deadlines and all that stuff has helped me a ton, because obviously now with my titles, I seek out artists and colorists and occasionally writers, and I try to be really cognizant about deadlines, because I know as an artist, like, kind of how much time I need. Every once in a while I'll hit up people and be like, I kind of need this yesterday, if you can do it. But by now I kind of know who those people are that I can go to, and they're cool about it. And that even goes as far as pay goes. I always want to be that person that, like, you do your work, you get paid. Like right now, I don't want it to be months down the road where it's like, oh, I forgot to pay you, or like I try to get that taken care of, because I want people to come back and work for me too. So it's that business sense of the whole thing has been a cool process, actually. And I've had some good mentors along the way.
Is it different though? I'm just curious for my own, because I think a lot of times, well, as a fan, I do know, but sometimes I forget it is a business.
There it is.
And so that business aspect of it sometimes get lost in everything else, because you see the creativity of it, everything else. And so I think hearing reminders that it is important for the payment and honoring your commitments and things like that. So it's hard. You get the creativity, and it's like, it's it doesn't take away from it, but sometimes it loses, that feel that you get. So
Yeah.
it's like people don't want to see it as a business. It's fun, yes, but it's also a business.
Actually, that funny enough, that is the first cover I was ever allowed to do. Because I didn't get to do the covers for the Dreadnoks. They already had those done.
Oh, wow.
And the other books I'd worked on were an anthology, and the one, again, the creator actually did the cover for it. So I didn't get a chance to do that. So that was my first like cover, which is kind of cool.
It's awesome.
Little history. And I still
am so
remember
happy
like talking about
that I can say I have one. So
yeah, I think I might have one remaining.
I have none. Well, there's one in the archive, but
yeah, I have
That's
it.
it.
I actually have it framed. It's hanging up in my house.
oh, do you? That's awesome.
Yeah, that along with the original cover art for it, side by side.
Nice.
Yeah,
first ever cover.
yeah,
That's
That's,
definitely frame worthy.
yeah.
That's someone's gonna have to make you an offer.
Right.
We'll start the bidding as we go through the show here. You guys make your bids.
Freddie and I are lucky enough to have those in our collection. So yeah.
It's so cool to be on here with you, Shawnee, because I feel like I know you, even though we've never really spoken. Like, outside of I think we've done one panel or two maybe together before. Have we? I feel like
I don't think we have. I think this is the first.
Is it?
Yeah.
I
think
feel
so.
like you were part of one, like with about 8 different people. Maybe
it might have been something.
But
I don't know.
Anyway, it's so nice to like talk to you because like you have such good energy. Like you can feel it coming through like your DMs and stuff. So awesome.
Well, I love hanging out with you guys. I love the creativity. I love the art, and I love being a part of this. So you make my world a better place. All of you do. So it's fun. Okay.
Speaking of creativity and art, let's talk about Bad Kitty art.
Yes, let's show more.
Which was cool because Tommy, you were saying you had the old stories to work from. So I had to go back and look. Okay, so what does Bad Kitty look like? And because there was the 2 versions of her, there for the most part it's pretty similar. But there was a couple iconic things I wanted to keep, like the choker with the cross. But after that, it just gets it's leather and badassery.
Never a bad thing.
Badassery trademark CBD.
Yeah. Yep. You just start throwing buckles in and some metal here and there and
buckles and thongs on the hips and the key the important things. The important things.
And then CB's ever favorite thing to draw, guns.
Yeah. Always. I'm getting better. I'm tolerating that.
I've never heard this. Is this a problem with you, the guns? I had no idea this is a thing.
There's something about not even so much guns, but like the hand placement on guns is so difficult sometimes. So I really kind of dread it. And of course, as a comic book artist, you have to draw guns. They're just everywhere. And I was lucky enough to get to draw probably my second favorite thing behind guns, which is cars in this one. There's a scene in this where...
Well, wait, you complained about that scene.
Away.
You were like, wait a minute, I don't know how the hell to do this. And it has a car in it at least.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not a fan of drawing cars either. Even though like I reference the crap out of them and you have to. But yeah, there's one.
And so he's major on a book
where
with cars
the
and
car
guns.
is pivotal. I'm like, great. I'm like, all right, we'll make it work.
And you did. You always do.
Listen, how else was I going to solve that problem at that moment? Like, there was no other solution at that stage of the story other than to use the car.
Yep.
So, we used the car. We used the car.
Yep.
We used a lot of stuff in this book. Stuff all over the place. In fact, we'll show you guys for the first time. We're going to give you a little peek at some of this.
I'm so excited.
We've given you some teases and some panels and stuff, but we're going to show you a few pages here that won't necessarily blow up all of the story, but it'll give you enough to kind of be a nice little sort of trailer for things to come, and then you'll have to get the book to figure out how it all fits together. But this was, we'll tell you that this is early in the book right here, because as we're sort of, setting our stage and letting the Bad Kitty story sort of be told by Catherine Bell, as we kind of do a little bit of reminiscing. That bridge is actually a real bridge in Louisiana. Like everything that we did here in this, I should say 90% of what we did here as far as Louisiana goes, I sourced out. I was like, I want actual real things. We talked about real places. We used real locations like the bridge. Some of these cities are real. So I wanted to, not that was really like necessary. I mean, we could have made up a bunch of names, but I wanted to purposely place this in as Louisiana-ish a story as it could possibly be. And so here is Catherine riding into actually past New Orleans. This bridge goes past New Orleans over the bay and into the other side of the state, where she is. She's doing a little bit of hunting there. We're not going to talk about the details. We're going to let you look at them, figure out what's going on. Again, we're just giving you the teasers here, not the whole freaking story. But if you have questions, of course, just let us know. I really wanted to dive into a lot of the supernatural stuff. Like in the old days of Bad Kitty, there was a lot of voodoo. Voodoo was a big, obviously that's a New Orleans thing, is voodoo. So, but I didn't want to. They had done so much voodoo in the past that I didn't want to just run straight into it again. Like that's just the voodoo wall. Let's go there. So while we're playing with supernatural elements, they're a little different from what Bad Kitty has done in the past, but I think it lands within the realm of rationale for her. There's a whole lot of just little, like I said, there's just a whole lot of little things that we're dropping in that we can then take and run with and expand on later. And hopefully everybody will dig it. I don't think I've driven over this bridge. I know where it is, but I don't think I had a reason to go the other way. So I don't think I ever got to the bridge. I've been to Louisiana. I've been to St. Louis, New Orleans. Yeah. I was down there with Jen Broomall once for a Wizard Con. That was interesting. Every time we went to dinner and everything was this weird, spicy, charred, burned, it was either that or it's alligator, like it's like, here, you can have some chicken, but we're going to burn it. And, it's like, we're going to voodoo burn this stuff so that it's like, it's, holy cow.
Tom's made up a new cooking term.
Yeah. But then you're like, well, I don't really want it burned. What else do you have? Well, we got alligator. Oh my God. I can't eat an alligator.
Those are my choices.
I've had gator.
Yeah, basically.
I've had gator before. There's a restaurant up by me that used to have, like, they switch up their menu every so often. So, they had ostrich strips one time, bison, they had alligator. I was like, yeah, I'll try that. It was all right.
The weirdest food I've ever had, I think. I mean, I've had some weird seafood, I guess, but that seafood's fairly normal. When I was in Europe one time, I had pigeon.
Pigeon?
Pigeon. And it's as terrible as you are imagining right now. Okay. Like, it's just this little gray piece of meat. It's just like, this was a mistake. Pigeon. And I'm sitting there, eating pigeon, thinking like, did they just go down to the train stop and like scoop some up and take them? Like, where did these pigeons come from?
You don't want to know.
I didn't want to know, and I didn't want to eat pigeon ever again. With the alligator, I have a hard. It's really weird because I have a hard time eating things now that that I like. Right? Like, I don't want to eat shark anymore because I don't want a shark.
Shark is very good though.
It is good. I've had shark. I'm like, I don't. Just give me a salmon. I'm not going to get attached to the salmon. There's plenty of those. I don't want to eat the shark. That kind of stuff. So it's like, I don't want to eat an alligator. That's ridiculous. So I passed on the gator. Passed on the gator.
Have a hard time eating or consuming something that falls into the badassery category.
Right, exactly. Yes, that's basically what it comes down to. Like, if it looks cool, I don't want to eat it. You know.
Fair enough.
No.
I know, some of those
God.
fighting chickens look pretty badassery.
Yeah, no, I'll eat a chicken. No, I'll eat a chicken. Listen, there's plenty of chickens. We're not going to be worried about. We're not going to worry about the chicken. Yeah.
All right.
No, unless it's one of the chickens that knows how to play magic.
Yeah.
Does anybody understand that reference? Please tell me you understand the reference.
We
Do not have a South Park cockfight reference here. No one knows.
Sorry, the
Oh
other
my
half.
God.
The other half is the South Park fan.
No.
South Park has a cockfighting episode
Oh,
where they bring the chickens down to fight, but they don't fight. They play magic.
Okay.
It is unbelievably bizarre and funny. Find the South Park magic playing chicken.
see, I
episode.
suddenly wish I'd worn my little Jerry Seinfeld shirt. Little Yeti. But yeah, I talked about this being set in Louisiana. I've never been. I've never been to New Orleans. So again, falling back on reference upon reference to make it work. And you supplied a lot of picture references like in your script, which is really cool. I always find that cool. And I know, like, if I send out scripts to people, I'll do that as well. Yeah, I even do it for myself when I work off my own scripts. But
yeah, it's just easier than
having
all these floating images in emails and messages and whatever. It's just stick it in there. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So
What
we've
else?
got go ahead.
No, I was just saying, what else can you show us, Tom?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's where I was going. This page again, it's not going to take any heavy story away, but it is a cool hero shot here as she's gearing up.
Look, CB, guns and buckles.
I know.
And
I
leather.
told you.
This is part of what we have in place for sort of the future of Bad Kitty as well. This little environment that we created. Again, we're not going to get too deep on what it is or how it fits into the story, but basically, obviously, she ends up in this place and sort of gears up on her way to go take on. Oh, what's that? It's an alligator. Of sorts.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I dig this. I dig this a lot. This is a great hero shot. I like how you decided you're only going to draw 2 guns and put none in the background. Nothing but spears and swords in the background. I don't want to draw 8 million guns.
You've got to
All
have
sharp pointing
an
objects, I love
arsenal. She is more than just guns.
This is true. This is true. Yes, 100%. 100%.
This shows her versatility in badassery.
Exactly.
For
Well
sure.
put.
Yeah. Well, as I said, this has a very specific purpose and methodology of how it will be used. Fingers crossed that we get to do some more. So yeah, that's it's pretty cool. Of course, the third party of our little trio here, Chris Chua, is the colorist. Chris has colored stuff for us across the board, including interiors. He was most recently on the Camp Crossover colors. He's in some pinup stuff. He's in covers for us. He's been everywhere.
He's incredibly talented.
Yeah, fantastic. And of course he did CB's cover there as well. You guys have seen this before. We'll pop this up real quick. He did CB's cover there.
Nice.
Obviously, I mean, we wanted the cover to match the interiors, so duh.
Yeah, when I first saw those, I was like, it was so cool the way he brought like the moonlight through the leaves. You could see that reflected on her. Just a really, really cool, like, just spectacle to take in. And I don't know how he pulls off the lights like that,
the flashlight effect.
The flashlight, like,
right there.
You could see it in the pages you showed too. Some of them, like, it's just it's amazing.
It looks. I half expect it to see it coming off the page.
Right.
That's
It's
really good.
Yeah, every now and then we get one of those J.J. Abrams lens flare effects in our books here. I'm a big fan of the lens flare. So when it
Yeah.
pops like that, I'm like, yeah, that's what we want. That's the stuff right there.
That's what we're
makes
talking
it
about.
visceral, right? It's not just
does.
that there's light. It's like it's almost real, but still within the context of it being art and lines and comics.
I'm so glad you said that because I'm a huge fan of that too. Like those.
Yeah,
any
I don't
sort of, like-
understand the hate of the lens flare on the JG. I don't get it at all. It makes it puts you right in there because that's what would happen. That would literally you would something would go through with the sun and you'd be like, whoa, there's a flare. Like it's real, man. So I dig it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
I'm looking forward to people when they're going through the book, if they turn the page and they almost want to blink or squint because it feels like it's coming at them. Then
yeah. Well, and here's a great example of his versatility too. We've shown this page before, where we have Catherine at the cemetery. We get to show basically the day, going past as she's at the cemetery, and Chris has to do all the colors of the rainbow here, from day to dusk to night. And of course, CB did a great job here. I mean, this was probably the easiest set of pages you had to do because it's really just change her and the cat, and everything else stays the same, basically.
Yeah, but I did change up some of the like shadow on the trees as it shifted. It became a little heavier. I actually had a lot of fun moving Lucky around, trying to figure out like what would a cat do.
Right. Yep.
So that was a lot of fun doing that. But those panels are actually kind of fun, even though it's all the same, but like her hair has to lie just a little different. It's those little nuances that I think are really cool to do.
Yeah, both of you,
Chris
he did a great job. Yeah,
and Chris did such a great job. Like it just, the colors are, especially, I love that bottom panel. It just feels like night. They feel like exactly the time they're supposed to be, but it's so
I'm watching
well
the progress from top to bottom, and it's, that'd be too much, but it's like I feel the temperature dropping.
Yeah.
Because between your work and the colors, it feels cooler as night drops. So.
And the cat is Lucky floats around this book a lot, and basically the directions for Lucky were basically like there was never anything specific. It's just like just imagine him in the scene, just now he's here, now he's not, now he's looking,
he's a cat
he's
doing what
going
cats
the other
do.
way.
Yeah,
exactly, 100%. I wanted to really kind of make him obvious that he's there, but also obvious that he just is a cat, man. He's just like, whatever. Are we done? Are we leaving? Like, what's happening? Because sometimes he's sitting on the, he'll sit on the back of the motorcycle and just ride. And then when they get there, he's like, okay, I'll see you when you're done, and comes back. So there's a bunch of Lucky stuff like that, which was fun to do.
And if we're lucky enough to do the next one, I want a scene where he just swats something off of a table.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that classic strip where the cat's at the bar and he just swats the drink off and he says another.
Yeah.
Like
First he has to watch it fall.
Yep.
Then look up and say,
yep.
Another.
Yeah. Following the beats. I wonder if Garfield ever did that. Like, did Garfield ever have the I'm gonna knock things off moments in his 40 years of existence or whatever it was?
Actually, I had most of the books when I was a kid, so I do remember him. Actually, yeah, he did. Did he? Threw him actually pushing a few things off the counter just because he could.
Nice.
That's funny.
It wasn't very often, but every now and then he'd be.
That is funny. So
the book is going to be a little bit of like, where's Lucky?
Yeah.
Lucky is interesting. And given the opportunity, we'll definitely get more. Like I said, back in the old days, dude turned into a werewolf at one point. So he has his own
werewolf.
story.
That's just rude.
Yeah, or were-cat thing,
right,
whatever he was.
I'm picturing him the look. He should look something like Michael Jackson did in Thriller when he first changed. That was such a cool looking like werewolf. It was so different.
Yeah.
CB's already going ticket.
I know.
Yeah, what do we do next?
Some
What
of
do
my
we do
favorite
next?
werewolves. I know, Tom, I know you're a big Howling fan, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, obviously you like werewolves, but
It's the best.
one of my favorite looking wolves was from the movie Wolves. Some of those werewolves were really
It's
cool
called
looking.
Wolves.
I think so. Just wolves. Oh my God, what's his name? Was
Company of Wolves.
nope,
No.
not Company of Wolves, just wolves. I gotta look it up here.
Wolfen.
Nope, not Wolfen. I'm quite
I am
sure.
unsure of your credibility here, sir. Wolves.
2014 CB.
Yep, that sounds
Oh, it's
about right.
recent. It's recent.
Yeah,
I've never heard of this thing.
Yep. So it has a
there's a big name in it. Jason Momoa is in it.
Jason Momoa. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
but
what I've never
the
heard of.
werewolves in that movie were real. It was really cool effects. I really like the way they look.
Canadian action horror film.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a terrible
still
movie.
pics. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the, I see what you mean.
The makeup for the wolves is really cool looking.
Interesting.
Boy trying to find out about his family history and stumbles upon a town of lichens. Yeah, that's.
It's not a terrible movie. You know.
I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm
See?
curious.
Wolves.
Wolves. Yeah.
Wolves. All right.
Wolves.
I learned
Well,
something new today.
we don't have wolves in our book.
No.
That's okay.
At least not right now.
Yes.
What we do have.
David found the link. Thank you.
What we do have are
alligators. Well,
the
sort
alligators.
Mhm.
The alligators.
of. We have.
And it's a big chump.
We have hungry alligators.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Chris did just a ridiculous job on this too.
Yep.
Lighting up the river, letting the gator and CB did a great job just like letting the gator float, you know. So we only see those little pieces of him. There's other shots of the gator in the book, of course, where they're similar, where you're just kind of just as they do, they just kind of float around. You see a little piece of them, and then blink, they're gone.
They're the
Or
ultimate ambush predators.
Yep.
yeah, or they ambush you at the like they do at the bottom. Yeah.
Mhm.
So again, you know, this is Bad Kitty. So we've got monsters. We've got some chomp. We've got some great location stuff. We've got great colors. We got great storytelling. This is super exciting to get this book in your guys' hands. I can't stop looking at these pages. It's great.
They came
That
to
skyline
life
is
so
really
nicely.
good work. I like that.
Yeah, the skylines, the scaling. God, the
Mhm.
scaling. I figured out a technique to make it a little better on myself, but it took a while.
Did it?
But I was happy the way it turned out. I feel like the texture came through.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris is one of those guys that lets the blacks be blacks and just kind of, you know, works around it and makes the rest of the piece you know, pop with the color.
Mhm.
But the blacks are blacks, and they are, the line work doesn't, you know, disappear underneath the colors, which, you know, sometimes you do that because you want this painted effect, but in this case, you know, my whole thing was I want to have some sort of sense of, you know, throwback art. I wanted the black lines, and I wanted, you know, the eye-catching color and so on to kind of, you know, match back to you know, the original books. So
And because it's like this, you know, it's supernatural. You know, I wanted to get the shadows in it because that's just it's again living in that noir world of art that I did with, you know, the Goth days, and what I bring to Black Rabbit for myself. And this is, you know, it's cool. I really like working with shadows, and, you know, letting negative space fill things in is really, it's fun. Actually, a great example with Michael Myers there in the corner of our screen. Like, that's a great noir look. Like, you know, his posture, it just silhouetted against that's the type of stuff I was trying to go with.
It's a hint of menace.
Yep.
That's funny. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I was trying to load something else up here before we show you one more page, because we got Stevie was talking about Goth Day, and we've got Gat is starting to punch the pages up with colors, and so I figured we'll show you this.
Ooh. Wow.
So you got that to look forward to, everybody.
That's pretty damn impressive.
That was a lot of stuff to throw in.
Yeah.
Well, your line detail, CB, was, holy crap.
Thanks.
Gat, that's really impressive. Those colors are nice. They pop off the page, which I think is what you were trying to go for, right? Because of the luminescence of it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what he does with the pages to follow.
I know.
They're going to be amazing.
Yeah, I was talking with him today about how we kind of want to handle some of this underwater stuff. So I was like, well, this is probably going to take a little tinkering. And he was like, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Yep. Mr. Smithers, what's going on? Welcome, sir.
Smithers.
So we have one more page we're going to show you guys. I love this page a lot. There's a lot going on here. I'm not going to tell you anything that you don't just see. I'm going to let you figure out what it is, and then you'll understand when you actually read the book. There's a lot going on here. And again, it's stuff that in my mind, I'm like, let's do this and run this forward. Like, let's take these elements. We can push Bad Kitty beyond, like we talked about, beyond the guns, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guns are fine, but we're talking about supernatural world here. So you can't just shoot things and assume that it's going to work. Even
usually it doesn't.
Yeah, right. Even the silver bullet idea
Right.
is sort of a limited, sort of idea. So, this is one of the big fight scenes. There is all kinds of stuff going on here, and I'm really excited, honestly, to get to sort of what's next with what is happening on this page. It's a great, cool action page, and like I said, I'm telling you nothing. I'll let you interpret whatever you want to interpret there, and then that's what we've got. So that's what we're going to show you guys, is just those 4 pages tonight. It is a 29-page book because I screwed up and misnumbered the script, so we ended up with 29 pages instead of the 28 that we were supposed to get.
Oops.
So bonus page.
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
Bonus page for you guys.
Allison is here.
Allison.
Oh, hey.
So bonus page, and I will also tell you. How do I tell you this? There is the possibility of more pages being put into the book. I'll just put it that way, and we'll just let it be, and we'll go from there.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll just say it like that. There's the possibility of more pages in the book, but bottom line, it's a 29-page book.
Okay.
And it is action and supernatural, and it is chomp, and it is shoot, and it is fight, and it is drama, and it is emotional. I mean, it really has hopefully everything that you want in this story. So really quickly, we'll run you back through what we've got here, and then we'll show some covers and talk about some more details here. But there
Covers.
we go, folks. So here's and I didn't mention this yet, so let's go ahead and mention it right now. Wherever you guys are watching this, either on my feed, on Comic Book Shopping Network, or YouTube, if you go into the description of what it is you're watching here, there is a link for the launch page for the campaign. Campaign, I believe, is going to be launching within the next 10 days. I do not have an official date yet. I'm assuming I'm going to have the date tomorrow. But they did the launch page, like the what do they call it? the notify me when we go live page, whatever that thing is called. So if you go up into the description, there's a link. Go click on it. We want everybody to start following it. It is going to be live on Indiegogo first, like we talked about. We've been telling you that this is probably what's going to happen. It is going to be on Indiegogo. There is a chance it will be on Kickstarter as well. Here's the thing, folks. We want you to get on the Indiegogo for a couple of reasons. Number one, we need this book to be as successful as possible right out of the gate. Because if it's successful, that means CB and Chris and I get to come back and do more Bad Kitty for you. That is the supreme need for this. The second one, however, is sort of up in the air, but there is the chance that if this does, in fact, go to Kickstarter later at some point, I don't know when, that there will be different covers available. A lot of that will depend on the success of the Indiegogo, of course. If it's super successful, a lot of those books might sell out. Therefore, they can't go to Kickstarter. I don't want you guys to miss anything that you want on this Indiegogo just because you have not had that experience of using the platform yet. So do me a favor. Go sign up tonight for your announcement, your launch announcement. There's a couple of things. There's a couple of images on there that you'll see. We're going to show you some stuff as well here. But there's a little bit of a description of what it is, how it works. And then when it goes live, obviously you guys can jump on and pledge for the campaign. Look, just buy all the books. just buy all the books. Make your life easy
now.
Yeah, make your life easy.
Do it.
Yes.
Yeah. Get to the crowdfunding. You know, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Hey, look, somebody noticed something. Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun. Forget we said that. Just go.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I want to see Allison cosplay Bad Kitty.
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
So really important, guys. Again, really important. I know we're not used. Our crew is not used to Indiegogo. Get used to it because Dynamite does use Indiegogo quite a bit, and so they bounce back and forth with different projects on different platforms. And like I said, we've discussed the possibility of using both platforms. They are open to it, but it is going to start the launch on Indiegogo. Maybe next Wednesday, maybe within the next week or two, it should be there. Yeah, I mean, listen, it really isn't that much different. The primary difference that we can tell you is that when you pledge, you are charged. That's it.
Yes.
It's not a situation where it's an all or nothing thing. You get charged as soon as you make your pledge. It goes in. The book. Here's the other thing. The book is done. Like it is completely 100% done. I've seen the letters. Covers are done. The only thing that's left is the potential additional pages. That won't take much. But yeah, the book is finished. So as soon as the campaign is done, it's turn and burn and get the book into your hands. And then they'll determine if they're going to run it through Kickstarter again. And we'll let you know if that in fact happens. But again, we don't know how they're going to plan to do it. And I don't want you to miss out on the things we're going to show you. Okay. So
I mean, for me, Kickstarter, I mean, Indiegogo is not my personal favorite, but I have done campaigns on both. So I'm signing up. I already signed up. So
excellent. We have at least one signed up. You'll have beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's super simple.
Well, two, because I signed up too, because I don't even know when they're launching it. So
see, but Shawnee is leading the Congo line.
That's right.
Grab onto her hips and keep it going. Get that.
That's
train.
Right. Shake it. You got to move it. Yeah. So we're going to show you some more stuff here, guys. Some of this you've seen, or maybe have seen. Some of it we have never shown before. So, of course, these are just teasers. We're not showing you the whole shebang here. We do have, of course, CB Zane and Chris Chua. This is going to be your basic cover. They did make us a brand new logo. That is our logo.
There's
brand new
nothing
Bad Kitty
basic
logo
about this cover.
and actually they did a bunch of different versions of it too. So,
interesting.
So it might change, modify based on the art, based on colors. It's a modifiable thing, but all the lettering and everything they did for us. I was like, give me a new logo, Dynamite, and they were like, yeah, okay. That was basically it. They were like, yeah, okay, I'll give you.
All right, fine.
But I wanted
And the
everything
crowd
to be
went
fresh.
wild.
Yeah, I wanted everything to be fresh. Like I didn't want to go back to the original logo. I didn't want to use the one they did in 2014. Like this is a fresh new book. Let's make everything brand new. And
they were like, fine.
Yeah, basically. But I like it. I think it's really bold. I like the bold. I like the color variation. I like how the B and the K kind of slide together. Like I like it a lot. So I'm perfectly happy with
Blondes, bullets, and values.
Yep.
There you go.
That was me. I did that. That was my tagline. Yeah, that was my tagline. Yeah. It took me a long time to figure that out too. I would go on my walks last year, right? And I'm like, we need like a thing. Like we need like something. And I didn't want to be. I mean, I wanted it to be. I wanted cliche, but I didn't want it to be like again old cliche. Like I didn't want
You wanted cliche, not cliche.
Yeah, we wanted good. Yeah. And so it took a long time, but finally I was like, "Yep, we're going with that." They were good with it. They didn't care. They're like, "Yep, that sounds good. Okay, run with it." So I'm like, "Okay, good." Something fell. Shawnee has gone off. Shawnee has gone.
Sorry.
The
I have
Matrix,
people walking in the background.
The Matrix attacked.
Yeah.
The Matrix attacked. Okay, so we've shown you that one before. We're also going to show you this one. Now, as soon as I found out that I didn't load one. Yes, I did. As soon as I found out this was happening, the very first person that I tapped on the shoulder and said, I need you on this book. It's not optional. I need you on this book. It is, of course, Mr. Shannon Mayer. I've known Shannon for a long time. I did his first ever comic book cover with The Legend of Oz, #7. Shannon is an amazing dude. He's an amazing artist. As soon as I was like, Becky, you got to make this happen for me, please, please, please. She was like, we got it. You are on the list.
You have made many people very happy.
100%. I was like, God, please, this is a necessity.
Yes.
He did a fantastic job. I'm really excited about seeing this cover in person.
Can't wait to see the whole thing.
Yeah,
amazing.
it is. It goes down, past your hips. We get the, it was good. It was really good. Very pleased, very happy. Shannon Mayer, man, love the guy. So there were basically 3 people that I pitched that are BDI people that I pitched. I actually pitched everybody that was here, and everybody got to do it except for one. There was only one who was unavailable to do it, but everyone else was like, "Yep, go, we're in." And so, but there were 3 BDI people. Shannon was one of them, of course. There were a couple that had worked for both of us, so I was like, "Well, that seems logical.
That's kind of a no-brainer,
and easy." And so you're going to see all of them tonight. One of the ones that works for both of us, who I actually just got to meet for the first time, and this is a little teaser you guys haven't seen before, is Maria Sanapo. Maria Sanapo's done 3 or 4 covers for us. She also did the interiors for the 2018 Ursa Minor special. She did the Vivian portion of the anthology. So this is a shot of, basically it's like the classic sort of movie shot, right, where the hero is walking away and there's the big explosion in the background. Yeah. That's exactly what's happening here.
She's backlit by the boom,
dude, and I love a backlit. I mean, ask my colorist. I'm like, yo, backlight that, like, bring it. I think
she did a great job. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think my colorists hate me for that, because like every time it's like, you're just backlight that thing. It's like that's like my thing. Like JJ has the lens flare. I'm like, yeah, backlight it. Let's go.
I'm a big fan of that too. When I do color my own stuff, I tend to try to throw in a lot of that.
Yeah, it looks great. Looks great. Got to
Yes,
meet
but at least you
Maria.
can make that decision, CB.
Right.
Like I said, Tom's color is probably like, oh Lord, what's Tom going to do? We know where he's going with this.
Yeah. I got to meet Maria. She was at Motor City Comic Con this year. So
Nice.
that was really fun. She was super nice, super awesome. Again, I pitched her to Dynamite. I was like, this is a natural. She works for both of us. Maria has been doing stuff like she was doing Sheena and all kinds of stuff over Dynamite. So I was like, yeah, let's get her on. And it was great because when I told her, I was like, I pitched you to Dynamite for the Bad Kitty. She was like, you did it? I was like, yeah, I did it. Listen, that's not them. That's me. I was like, put Maria on this book. She was super excited. So I'm super glad to have her on board. Then we will move on to somebody who I don't think he's worked for Dynamite before. I don't think. I may be wrong, but I don't think he has. But he's obviously worked for us quite a bit, and that is Mr. Bill McKay. Bill McKay, and of course Sanjay Nivengun as well.
Mhm.
This is and the other thing is I was trying to do some art direction on this stuff so that everything kind of was a little different. I didn't want her just like standing around every time with like a gun on her shoulder or whatever. I wanted to like, let's change these things up. So Bill gave us the big, I mean, I was about to say he gave us the big guns, but that would be inappropriate. And also,
well, it is Bill, so I
and
don't know.
also obvious. Yeah. The big guns, courtesy of Bill McKay here.
The big guns is holding the big guns. So there you go.
That's correct. That is correct. So this is a really cool shot. It's a very tight shot too.
Yeah.
So it's like super dramatic. It's right in your face. I love the little bit of blur. It's got a little bit of motion blur to it. So Mr. McKay, of course. Now this was a guy who I saw his stuff on Facebook one time, and I was like, yeah, I need that guy. And so I messaged him, and he was like, well, I'm exclusive with Dynamite. And I was like, God damn it. And then like 2 months later, I got the Bad Kitty call, and I was like, ha ha, I got him. His name is Michael Maria. He does some amazing work. This, I mean, you guys aren't even understanding all of that's in this piece. She's sitting on her motorcycle. The details are ridiculous. So this is Michael Maria. If you guys don't know him, look him up on Facebook. He does a lot of Dynamite stuff. And of course, now he's done something for me, even though it's not Big Dog Inc. I'm going to qualify it as it counts.
That face is fierce.
I know it just feels gritty and dirty.
Yes.
And I mean that in the highest compliment.
Yes. Very, very gritty. All of it is. I mean, you can see all that cross hatching and stuff. All that cross hatching is throughout the whole piece. It is dark. It is. It's got the fire. It's fantastic. The motorcycle is like hyper detailed. It is a very, very gritty cover. Yes, 100%. So I'm thrilled.
Well done.
That we got to have Michael come on to the book. So let's see. So we've done these. And
that is not somebody you want to encounter in a dark alley.
Yeah, no. He did a great job. I was like, dude, oh my God, that's fantastic. So speaking of backlit, Brian Peterson, BDI.
I've heard about that dude somewhere.
Yeah, he's around. He's around every now and then. This was a great one as well. There you got the thong on the hips was great. She's kind of standing in a graveyard here. With the sun going down, and Elenia DiNapoli, of course, that's the team. It's Brian and Elenia. Had to get them together. Pitched Brian to them, and they were like, "Yeah, go. This is good." So super happy to have him on this. This is his first Dynamite cover. So super happy with this cover. He didn't seem to have a problem with guns.
No. Some people don't. I do them. I just curse under my breath.
Oh, okay. Well, that maybe he just didn't.
And I'm
say
not
anything.
saying just this. I do it to myself with my own stories too.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got like space guns. You can kind of make them whatever you want them to be.
Not always. And even space guns have to look right.
They still have to fit in the hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
They still have to fit in the hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Oh my gosh.
I think Brian just may be more reticent in his grumblings. I think he's much more internal.
Brian is doing a ridiculous cover right now for Ursa Minor in July.
Mm-hmm.
A little concept jumped into my brain, and I was like, "You want to do it?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, just do it. Just do it. It's going to be ridiculous, but just do it." And he was game, so that will be very fun. Yeah, we have almost all the Ursa Minor stuff is like almost done, and Fabio's already through like 10 pages of the book. It's I mean, I can't.
Holy crap, he's just ripping through them.
Yeah, I can't even believe how fast this thing is going. So I'm super geeked about it. So let's see. What do we have? This. I think there's just 2 more. So we do have Big Dog Dynamite does lots of cosplay stuff on their covers. There is a cosplayer. Her name is Rachel. Oh my God, I can never remember her last name. Rachel Holson. I think it's Holson. Rachel Holson. She did some stuff for Barbarella. I think is what I saw, and I was like, so she's everywhere. She does all their stuff, but I was like, okay, can we get her to do some stuff? And because again, this was last year when we were actually trying to get this book out last year, but because we just kept stumbling and it was a little bit here and a little bit there. It was like, oh, I don't know. There's no way we're going to do this. But she actually jumped into action as soon as she got the call and put a Bad Kitty costume together and did a shoot with 5 or 6 pictures. And I don't know which ones exactly are going to get used. So I just grabbed one out of the shoot as the sample because it could be any of them or it could be all of them. I mean, they could be used for trading cards. I have no idea. But this is Rachel Holson.
Oh wow!
Doing the Bad Kitty cosplay. Came out really great. So hopefully the people that collect her covers for the other books will come running when we see this.
She has a dedicated fan base, and that'd be
right.
Great.
Exactly, and nice. I don't know if that's the case or not, but. I was like, yeah, she clearly knows what she's doing. So when she did the whole shoot, I was like, damn, that was, and again, really fast. Like within about a month, she put this together and had the shoot done. And I was like, woof. But she does this like all the time. So I was very, very happy. So we will have a cosplay. There will be the way that I understand it right now. There is a cosplay cover, whether it's this one or not. Again, I don't know. And then there's going to be an additional cosplay cover. As part of like the buy it all pack, like you buy it all and there's a bonus cover in there.
Okay.
I think that's what they're doing.
Potentially that's the plan.
Yeah. And then of course, like I said, she had a bunch of pictures. So there could be like some trading cards and some bonus items, stretch goals and things like that.
Stretch goals, a print or a trading card or something like that.
Yeah, with some of the other pictures. So again, as soon as I get more details, guys, I will tell you, obviously, of course. We're just kind of skimming the surface of everything since none of this is within my control. I have done all of the creative elements that I can do. Again, go to the description of wherever you're watching this right now. The link for, yes, there is another photo of her on the Indiegogo page. That is correct. If you go to the Indiegogo home page, launch page, you'll see some art in there, and please sign up. We want you guys to be able to get on this book as soon as we launch. So Rachel Holson is her name. And then we have one more to show you. This one we have never shown before. Signed up for notifications. We've got 2. We have 2. You got to move it.
Yeah.
And the movement grows.
Yes. We have 1 left, folks. It's a biggie. This guy has been around a long time. He has worked for Big Dog Inc., actually. And, of course, he's a staple over at Dynamite as well. As soon as I pitched him sort of as a flyer, like, so can we get him? And they seemed to think it was absolutely no problem. It turned out to be absolutely no problem. And we are very, very happy to have Mr. Joe Linsner on Bad Kitty with us.
Nice.
And it was apparently very cold in Joe's studio as he
I did notice that
as he painted this particular picture.
But her face says, "I dare you to comment on it."
Yeah, right. It's the old "my eyes are up here," or as CB Zane once said, "the gun is up here."
Exactly.
Right.
I loved that. I loved that cover, and I love that little saying, "The gun's up here." So Mr. Linsner joins the crew. We have not. This is the first time this has been shown. This is it. You guys are seeing this for the very, very first time anywhere. Again, these are all cropped images, folks. You'll of course get full-size images on the covers, but we wanted to give you a little taste of what is to come. So there is your Bad Kitty run through. We'll give you one more quick look. Brian Peterson, Rachel Holson on the cosplay. CB Zane on your A cover. Bill McKay, Sanju Nivengoon. Maria Sanapo.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Maria. Shannon Mayer.
Dun, dun, dun.
And Mr. Joe Linsner.
That is quite the lineup you have.
Amazing stuff. I mean, come on. What else could you want? Don't say Scott Campbell.
Amazing.
Don't say Scott Campbell. Never say Scott Campbell. What? Besides that, what else could you ask for? Besides Scott Campbell and these guys, what else do you ask for? Actually, now that I think about it, Scott works for Dynamite. So
future possibility.
Maybe on issue 2.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why, guys. This is why you got to get on the book. You got to pledge for the book. You got to make this a success, because we could get a Scott Campbell Bad Kitty cover. I mean, how ridiculous would that be? Oh my god. So there we go.
I think Tom might explode if that happens.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I mean, I've worked with him, so it's like, hey, I've had Scott Campbell, but like every time I think about, hey, I'd like to have Scott back. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. So there's a lot of people we'd love to work with, actually, so the only one I haven't worked with until now was Michael, and the universe tried to tell me no, and I told the universe, I'm going to get you. And we did. So I'm going to have to. Dynamite has a lot of great artists that I've never worked with that I'm like, yo, this is ridiculous. So should we get to a second issue, I'm going to have to dig through their available people and see what we can do. So guys, we got a little bit more time here. Anybody that's watching, if you got questions about anything that you've seen, about the book, about Indiegogo, about crowdfunding, about anything, this is your time. Please feel free to chime in with questions, or basically, Mr. Bishop, it is in where I don't know where you're watching, but in every description, it's right up there. It may not be an actual link. You may have to copy paste.
So I don't know where the YouTube is, but in Facebook, they're up at the top of the chat. There's live chat, and then there's overview. If you click on the overview, it's in that description. So you can find the link there in Facebook.
Yep. There you go. There you go. There's the answer, Mr. Bishop.
That's where I
That
found
is
it.
the correct answer.
Yeah.
Well, it's the only
And then
answer I got, so.
when we're done here, I'll make some general posts as well, and just get it out there. And I know now that it's ready, Dynamite's going to start sending it around as well. But that was an easy question. Anybody have any hard questions? Like give us the hard questions. The hard questions. So I will tell you this. Should I tell you this? I'll tell you this.
What?
I'll tell you this. Is there an estimated release date? David, I believe we are going to get a launch date within the next 2 weeks. It may very well be next Wednesday. I should know in the next day or two, and I will tell you all the actual launch date. But that's why it's important for you guys to have this this landing page here, because then in case you don't hear from me for any reason, because algorithms are terrible, if you don't hear from me, you'll at least get the
notification
Indiegogo announcement. They will literally email you and say, yo, this is live, go get it. Of course, I'll try and be live just like we normally do, but depending on when it launches, I'm going to be on the road a little bit because I go down to some Comic Cons starting next week. So depending on the launch date, I may not be live when it launches, like as it launches, but I'll certainly jump on the day of. I just have to, figure all that kind of stuff out. You are signed up. Give me a reason to use my Indiegogo account for something other than Star Trek. Yes, good. We're converting everybody over. I really appreciate it, guys. I know using Indiegogo is a little different, so it's different for all of us. It's different for me, just in the context that I have absolutely no control over any of it. But we're rolling with it. Dynamite's been great with me for this, and I've tried to, impart whatever knowledge or thought process that I have as far as crowdfunding to them, to say, hey, this is the way we do it. I'm open to how you do it, but let's talk about it so we can maximize whatever it is that we're doing here. It will. We did talk about that. It does charge you as soon as you pledge for your thing. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't get more. Like if you just pledge for a book, it doesn't mean you can't come in later and get another book if you decide to. That's totally up to you. It's just a different system. Instead of coming back in and adding something on later to your existing pledge, you're just going to make another pledge, and it'll go in.
I found it's interesting because sometimes I think this will depend on how Dynamite sets it up as well. Mm-hmm. So if they don't do it this way, I had a couple on Indiegogo where I did, and you could do that pledge, but then it was like double shipping because you were doing another pledge, and the tier does that. So if they set it up right, there is a way to do it. You do your initial, and then just like the add-ons in Kickstarter, it's adding another perk. So you can go down. You should be able then hopefully to add on additional perks without having to do additional shipping.
Additional pledge. Okay, good. Yeah. So. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Beautiful. Look at that. Shawnee dropping knowledge.
Yeah.
None of us know what we're doing. Shawnee's got it down.
More than just a pretty face.
Easy peasy. Boom. I have so many messages right now. This is great.
I bet you do.
Facebook is just going bananas right now. So there we are, guys. So Shawnee, you have any questions? Did we miss anything? Do you have anything you're like, hey, what about that?
No, I got to see the covers and get a sneak peek at that, so I'm really happy, and I've got some tough choices ahead of me. So, but no, I think it looks great. I'm really excited for Dynamite to get their act together and get it released.
Yeah, man. And like I said, it may very well be next week. I think they want to do it on a Wednesday. I know a lot of people do theirs on Wednesdays, which again is why Big Dog Inc. does it on Saturday. Everybody picks Wednesday. We do it on Saturday. Although Goth Day next year will launch on a Monday because that is when Goth Day is. So we have to chase that date. But so that'll be interesting. That'll actually be really interesting to see like the differences, like Monday, Tuesday. What difference does it really make? Honestly,
well, I mean, I don't know. For me, since I'm always usually following established either campaigns or things like that. For me, it's like half the time I don't even pay attention to the damn date. It's like, honestly, it's like I get the notification. I just okay, cool. Well, I'm there.
Yeah. Well,
and
say,
it was a Monday. I'm like, it was. So
yeah,
but maybe it's just me. It could very well be.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, that's how I operate too, Shawnee. It's like, I'll get the notification. Oh yeah, gotta go over there, pick that up. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think those who feel like a date or a day of the week means more, maybe it does, but honestly, I think people are either going to know about it and go looking for it and expect it, or they're going to come across it one way or the other. So
yeah, I think what happens is in a lot of cases, people just pick a day to sort of be their day, and they roll with it. Like for me, Saturday, it's like I just want to do it Saturday morning. In my mind, it makes sense. But like I know Polito does it on Wednesdays all the time. People do what they do. But in the case of Goth Day, that day moves because it's the 22nd every month. So we've done it on Friday. We've done it we've done it on. Wait a minute. No, it'll be on Sunday next week. Yeah, it'll be on Sunday.
It's a moving target.
Because we did Friday the first year. We did Saturday. No, we did it Sunday. This will be the fourth Goth Day next year, right? 3, 4. It'll be the fourth. It'll be the third issue, but the fourth Goth Day. Yeah.
Right.
So it will be on Monday next year. It'll be interesting. So yeah.
Freddie says calendar is just an artificial construct.
Artificial construct. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
I can go with that.
Yeah. This is Freddie. Freddie, why can't we see your name? Freddie, go to StreamYard.com.
You let a StreamYard thing lapse.
Yeah, you've lapsed, Freddie. You have lapsed. What's up, Joshua? How you doing, man? So guys, again, we got a little time here. Questions are welcome here. Trying to think of what else we can tell you without sort of spoiling it. I know. I was going to tell you the thing that I shouldn't tell you, which is that I have, in fact, already pitched what's next to them. I'm just like, I'm tired of waiting. Here's what I want to do. Just so they have it in their mind. So they know that I'm like legitimately, like, I'm not just here to do a thing and then
you're not a one and done.
And they'll be like, okay, I'm out. Thanks, guys. No, I legitimately want to do more with this character. And I have now again, this is my path. They may have an alternative path, but everything that I've pitched are things that I have been given sort of the okay to use, because there's more things that I had to ask, like what about, and they were like, yep, go. But then it's also the path that this book creates on its own. So there's the bad kitty element that just keeps going, which we should have no problem with at this point. And then there's the extra elements that I'm like, well, I want to do this. Yep. I want to do this. Yep. Okay. So we put those elements in addition to the story expansion that we want to do with Bad Kitty. So I've already pitched that to them. And I was, in fact, Nick sent me a message the other day. He says, do we ever talk about this? I was like, no. But I know that's fine because we haven't even launched this book yet. So it's just supposed to be there as a placeholder. Like, here it is. So you guys know I'm still here. And as soon as you want to give me the green light, we'll go. But yeah,
I think it's smart too, because you present it to them as well, and then it's always rattled around in the back of their head.
I hope so.
And that way, if we can be successful in making this a successful book and everything else, and they move forward, number 2, then it's like tick. Hey, Tom had some ideas
for once,
and they're good ideas. Good, they're so good. They're so good. Oh my gosh, they're so good. Yeah, because there was a character that I stumbled across when I bought a collection of comics, and I was about to sell it to you guys. And as I said, well, here's I saw the Chaos logo at the bottom. I was like, what the hell is this? Because I hadn't even heard of it. And so I was like, well, that's not going to get sold, guys. I have to figure out what this is because now I'm interested. And so I set it aside. I read it. I did a little research on it. I was like, yo, have you guys done anything with this? They were like, no. I was like, so can I? Yep. Okay, so that's how that rolled. Like I said, Dynamite's been really good. They're just like, yeah, man, bring us your vision, and that I cannot imagine is normal in the comic book world. Is bring us your vision of this character that already exists. That's not normal. I don't believe that to be normal. So big
Is it
thanks.
normal in your world, CB?
No, it's
before you were working on your
it's
own.
actually really. I would think it's very unique. I mean, any creator probably has ideas for their favorites, but to be able to pitch it and have them say, yeah, go, that's pretty unique, I think.
It's a little.
Yeah, it was weird because I almost when they sent the script back and there was no changes, I was kind of disappointed, because I was like, I've never been edited before, like ever. Like no one's ever said your story sucks.
For the full experience.
Fix. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, something's wrong. There has to be something wrong in here.
There was. You had 29 pages.
29 pages, but they didn't even catch that until it was over.
I caught it.
Well, yeah, you had to draw the pages.
Yeah.
They literally didn't catch it. When they read the script, they didn't catch it. When they turned in the pages, they didn't catch it. When they turned in the colors, they didn't catch it. It was only when Chris turned in his voucher to get paid that they were like, why is he vouching for 29 pages? Because there's 29 pages. And they sent me a message like, why is there 20? I was like, because I fucked up. And that was it. They were just like, oh, okay, that's 29 pages. All right, that's fine. So again, even in that context, they weren't like, well, shave a page out. And I was like, I would have been like, I can't. It's impossible. There's no meat on this thing that you can just toss out. It's all required. So again, just big thanks to Dynamite and Nick and my editors and the editors who basically put some commas in my script, because it's been a really good experience for this overall. So, that's where it is. So CB and I are working on Goth Day.
Yep. As
we've shown you that, for those that haven't seen it earlier, we'll put this back up really quick. Gat is starting to work on the colors. So this is sort of the first run through here on his colors. Looks amazing. So we'll be getting that wrapped up here before too long. Probably get that shipped out to you guys late July, early August-ish, something like that.
It's okay. Calendars are a construct.
Yeah, that's correct. It's late December, early May, like whatever. It's fine. Oz is done. Incidentally, it's at the printer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ursa Minor is being lettered right now, so it's going to be at the printer this week. So we are catching up in a hurry. We should hear some stuff back from the Critter action figure people pretty soon. We had to give them the first down payment to get all of the molds done. So we're moving on that. And then we're rolling on Ursa Minor for July already. Fabio's turned in his cover. Isanetto Adamar has turned in his cover. I don't know his name. He goes by the name Nick Tonic on Facebook. He has turned in his rough, so he shows me the rough yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, this is good. I gave him a few edits, and he was like, okay, cool. Well, no problem. He goes ahead and posted on his Facebook. I was like, but whatever. I wasn't that worried about it because, again, it was a work in progress. It was a rough. And so in the first 6 minutes, this thing proceeds to get nearly 300 likes in 6 minutes.
Jesus.
So I messaged him like, what is happening right now on your page? Because this thing has so many likes. He was like, oh, yeah, this one's going to get like 2,000. I was like, you're joking, right? So wake up this morning. It's at 2,100 likes, 51 comments or something. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is insane. So it's probably going to be popular, everybody. It's probably going to be popular. So again, you might want to be
I'm
there.
cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, you might want to be there the first day because holy shit, this could be wild. So we've got a couple of new people on Ursa, which is going to be fun. Brian is doing his crazy little cover. What else we had? Mike DeBalfo's already finished his. Nei is going to color it.
Yay.
Yep. I think of what the other ones. I don't know. The point is, it's like already almost done, and we've still got a month before it's all done. And Fabio is through 10 pages, which are unbelievable. They're so freaking good. The cover that he did is it's nonsense. Here we'll show you. Like that's what I told him when I saw it. I was like, dude, that's nonsense. What are you doing?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, the other day. That's
yeah,
awesome.
I had to post it. I had to post it. It was too good. So loving Fabio, really loving Fabio, really loving working with him. He's been fantastic. So I think the book's going to be great. I think it's going to be really, really legitimately great. There's a very strange scene that when I wrote it, there was. I'm not even going to tell you what it is, but basically, it's April and Naomi, and as this scene was happening, I had to write something for April to kind of yell as it was happening. Because she's kind of happy. It's like this exclamation of like happiness. Only one thing popped into my head, and I was like, I can't put that. I can't write that. That's not good. And so I kept trying to think of something else, and it just was like, no. You're gonna write it. You're gonna put it in there. So it's in there. And you guys are gonna get to it. Yeah,
Your brain said, do it.
You guys are going to get to it and be like, yo, what just happened? But I literally could not come up with anything else besides that. So it was weird and funny. So I ran with it. I said, fine, it's good. It's fine.
I think you stole it from the 40-Year-Old Virgin, right? Kelly Clarkson, is that what she yelled?
Or from Hot Tub Time Machine when Lou is like, oh, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. The other thing my head was going to is like the crazy sound effects that Walt Simonson used to have in Thor. Just I just always wondered if that was kind of a standing joke like they used to do back in the day with Happy Days, trying to find the next like kitschy like catchphrase. Did Simonson just try to drag out?
No, this cannot be a catchphrase. This cannot be a catchphrase, people.
We're gonna make it a catchphrase, everyone.
No,
all of us are now insanely curious.
No.
When it comes out.
No. You can't do it. You can't do it.
I'm trying to find. What is it? Nick Tonic?
NYC. TONIC. Something like that.
Yeah.
And it'll come up as
illustrations and designs.
Right. It won't be a name. It'll be like a business name. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I had to go to Patreon for your post there where you had his name, and that helped me find him because I couldn't find him.
Yeah. Incidentally, Patreon folks gets all the advanced looks at stuff. They get to watch things happen. They get the works in progress. They get the lines. They get the colors. They get the advanced looks at all things, and they get exclusive offers that are only there. Also, they get what is called the Patreon perks, which is right now, anyway, now these could change, but right now we are actually giving out sketch cards to all Patreon members who also back our campaigns. So just free sketch cards. Here you go. Here's a sketch card. Thanks for being in two places at once. I have right now Justin Hunt and Jason Hayhair doing sketch cards for us. So those of you that were part of, let's see, Ursa Minor and Goth Day, obviously Critter, but that'll be down the line when we get to the Critter Toys. So when you get your and Oz from last year. So Oz and Ursa Minor and Goth Day. Anybody that was a Patreon member for those, you're going to get sketch cards for each of those campaigns as well, just because you're awesome and you're on Patreon. So it's patreon.com/Big Dog Inc. We've got 33 people there as of right now. And it's all a good time. It's all a good time.
I just looked up on his page for the work in progress that you were talking about. Yeah, it's 2.6 thousand.
2.6.
Yeah,
2.6. Holy crap.
2.6. Yeah, from yesterday.
It's crazy, yo. It is
I understand why. It's an
crazy.
amazing, even for work in progress. It's
yeah,
cool.
and I mean it's a piece that is I don't know how to describe it exactly. But we'll just say hashtag boobs are fine, right? It's the hashtag boobs are fine.
Hashtag boobs are fine. Yep.
Yes.
Hashtag they seem nice.
That's right. That's right. I think that people are catching on to all of this. It's very good. It's very, very good. And then we'll show you Isanetto too. Isanetto is the other new guy who I am freaking out on.
Isanetto pencils are wow.
I know, right? It's wild. It's wild. Oh, this might be too big to load. Nope, there it goes. So there's Isanetto. There is April. Lighten the
she's setting the world on fire.
Yeah, lighting the stake on fire because she's the witch. It was fun because I was like, well, listen, she's the witch, and so we want to put her up on the stake with the fire, but we want it to look like she's in control of the fire because that's what she does. She can control fire. So she's got the match. She's lit it. She's basically just like, yep. And what else you got? So really nice cover, really unique design for her as well. That was Isanetto. He came up with that. He kind of took the basic idea of April and sort of modified it a little bit. And yeah, it looks great. So we're actually, I think we're going to have Elenia color that. I threw it her way. I was like, do you have time to do this before you work on Brian's next cover? So I think she's going to do that, which will be fun. And yeah,
that's going to be an interesting pairing. That'll be cool.
For sure. I mean, the line work is kind of similar to Brian. So I kind of feel like they're going to pair pretty naturally. So yeah.
Other considerations that we as fans don't always take into account. Line work and how it works. Coloring artists. How they match up.
Now the trick there though is that you don't want to overuse people overlap too much. Because if it's going to start to look the same, you don't want it to look the same. So you want to be able to find, okay, you've got these artists that have a similar line, sort of like detail style. You may be better off having one colorist do one and have another colorist do another because it would break up some of the similarities. But we're going to let Elenia do it and see what she comes up with and see how it looks. And then, we're already working with he's already doing more, Isanetto. So we might, then take the next one and say, okay, let's have Sanju do it and see what it looks like with Sanju, and let Gat do one and see how it looks with Gat. So sometimes it takes a little bit of, work to find the primo combination. But I think in all cases that his work's going to come out sparkling. So I'm excited to see more of what he's doing. And actually, Fabio has a couple more pages he's going to do on Ursa, and then he's actually going to stop and do a cover for something else for us before he goes back to pages. So we're actually going to get an extra cover from Fabio over the summer. So I'm excited to see what he can do because this will be a very different thing than what he's been doing with Ursa Minor. So
I'm wondering if sometimes if that helps to give a little fresh perspective because you take a break.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And a lot of the stuff that he's doing for the other companies,
Oh, okay.
It is sort of like horror-ish types of things, magic and whatever. So it's kind of the similar vein. So to take him out of that and put him somewhere else, I'm curious to see. Like sometimes people just have a style that's for something,
Sure.
and it doesn't necessarily translate around. So I'm really curious to see how this will translate with him. But I kind of feel like at this point, he's drawn so much different stuff in this book that I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine, and I'm excited to see it. So, but I have to maximize him because he's working for like 2 other people at the same time, and so we have this very strict like, okay, I got this block of time. It's yours. What do we do? Okay, go here. This is it. Go. But because he's so fast, it's like it's almost too.
It
fast.
works. Yeah.
Dude, what? You done? What's going on? It's crazy. It's crazy. So now I just have to figure out how to like just swipe him away from everybody else. So next year it's just like, okay, look, just stop.
Like you've done with Brian.
Stop working for them. I'll just work. Just do it here.
I swear, I think sometimes he has Brian locked in a basement somewhere.
Oh God! All right, guys, we are in our final minutes here, so this is your last chance. Questions, Bad Kitty, Goth Day, anything, Big Dog Inc. Oh, incidentally, we will have the digital copies of Oz out to you. Maybe not tomorrow, but by the weekend, you'll have the digital copies of Oz for sure. Same with Ursa Minor. As soon as Ursa Minor is done, which will be probably early next week, we'll kick out the digital copies to you guys right away, so you can read this story. I really want you guys to read this story. I think it's really good, both Ursa Minor and Oz. And then it'll be Goth Day, and the Shark book is underway, and we're going to have Sand and Scales in July, which is our new Gladiator book. And then I've decided that the third book this year, which will be October, the brand new title, we're going to go ahead and launch Land of the Lost Cave Girl. We're going to bring that out.
Okay.
So yep. And we did. You know what? I don't know that I've ever shown the logo. Everybody on Patreon got to see it.
Right.
We showed that like last year. Ed Loveley's been doing our logos for us for a while now. And I was like, you know what? I just want this in my back pocket. Let's just do it so I have it. And then as I was going through all of these things to figure out, because I have so many things to do, I was like, yeah, let's just do this. We're going to do this one because I've been thinking about it for a while. This is like Sand and Scales. Sand and Scales has been right there for so long that I was like, yeah, this has to happen. And so Land of the Lost Cave Girl will be coming to you in October. Finally. Love it.
Nice.
Good stuff. What's up, Max? How are you? You're just catching the end of the show, my friend. End of the show. So yeah, final minutes.
I feel like CB's been awfully quiet.
I've just been soaking it all in.
Okay. Want to make sure I didn't like derail you or
steal
your limelight.
No, it's all good. Sometimes you have to listen. You gotta let it all come in.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because that's sort of what happens at these shows, right? It's like you kind of come in and you're expecting like people to talk and have questions about things, but I find out later, because I get messages from people later, I find out that they're just sitting there listening. Yeah. They're not worried about commenting or questions or anything. They're just like, yo, I'm just listening to what you say. I'm watching what you show. I'm perfectly content with that, aspect of the podcast or whatever you want to call it. So, apparently I need to make more lists because that's how to rile people up.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. We need more Tom lists to stir the pot. I just enjoy this because I love chatting with CB, but it's hard sometimes. There's a conversation and then trying to get your chats in, writing on the keyboard, and there's a lag and everything else. So having this opportunity to actually chat with CB as well as with Tom and everything else for me is a real treat. So
Yeah, and I've been trying to follow the comments off to the side here, and then do my research as you're bringing up these artists and stuff. So I'm interacting too.
same. I'm lucky enough. I have my work set up because I work from home all the time, so I have my multiple monitors. So I take advantage of that.
Yeah, I've had that done too.
Yeah.
Well, for those that are looking for comics, we will be back on Sunday. We will be doing a live show on Sunday, live sale show on Sunday as normal. That will be the last one that we do for a few weeks because I am going to be heading out next Wednesday, Thursday. I will be heading to St. Louis for MightyCon next weekend, so a week from this coming weekend. And then the weekend after that, I will be in Albuquerque for Duke City Comic Con. And then I'll be heading out to Arizona for a little while to work on fulfillment for Ursa Minor and Oz, because I will have Jesse James comics at my disposal and all that room to ship 2 Kickstarters at the same time, which we're going to need. So I will be out that way. But once I'm out there, we'll get back onto the shows. But there's going to be a couple weeks off, so we'll have some fill-in folks during that time. Tonight, however, as usual, coming up after us is Jesse James, the aforementioned Jesse James, and the Binge Bar. I know he's supposed to be moving to Florida soon, so I'm not sure what his schedule is going to be, but I think he's still on tonight as far as I know. So if you guys want some comics tonight, check out Jesse James Binge Bar coming up next. CB Zane, my cohort, Bad Kitty, is on its way, everybody. As soon as we have the official date, we will tell you. But if you go up into the description of these this little video thing, there's a link that will take you to the Indiegogo landing page. Yep, the landing page, the page where you can get your announcement, so that when we do go live, in case you don't hear the date, you'll get the announcement. Please go follow it. We need everybody to jump on this book as soon as it launches. We need big success because we have many plans for Bad Kitty and beyond. We need you all to make that happen. So thank you.
Working on her.
Yeah, exactly. Also, incidentally, next year, barring being given some sort of like ongoing Bad Kitty series, CB and I are going to be working on getting out the book that we talked about last year. Before everything kind of came to a stop due to scheduling, which is Into the Suck crossover with the Cat Girl of Mars. So that will be part of the Big Dog Inc. 13-year anniversary next year. So as
I'm so excited.
we start to get into that, we'll let you all know the hows and the whens and the wheres. But that will be part of year 13 for us over here at Big Dog Inc. So
13, lucky number.
Yeah. It's going to get weird. It's going to get. Now, I'm just listen. I'm telling you all right now.
It's going to have Ursula in it, so that at least that proportion
get weird.
It's going to get weirder.
All right, it's midnight.
This is already weird, guys.
Yeah, I know, but it's going to get weirder. It's going to get worse. Worse. It's going to be
weirder.
Better. Weirder. Yeah, it's like Dumb and Dumberer. It's going to get weirder.
Yeah.
I like that word. Jesse James and the Binge Bar up next, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you Sunday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, for the Midnight Collectors Club at 6 p.m. It'll be our last show for a little while. So until then, thank you all for hanging out. Thanks, CB and Shawnee, for joining me tonight. And we'll watch for that Bad Kitty info. Go sign up for the launch date. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.